President Trump to reinstate ban on immigration from high-risk jihad nations. Now, let's be very, very honest here. After 4 years of Joe Biden and the open borders that he installed as a result of following the orders of the globalist elite cabal, we currently have more terrorists, more people who want to destroy the United States of America here in the United States of America than we did even ahead of 9/11. And we're talking about by degrees of magnitude. There are terrorists among us right now. There are plots that are being formed, maybe being initiated right now. So, those who would like to make the humanitarian case, I get it. There are, especially when you're talking about countries such as Syria, where we're witnessing the beginning stages of a Christian genocide. I want to help those people. I want to pray for those people, and more importantly, I want to get those people away from harm's way any way we can, but that does not mean bringing them here. We have too many problems of our own to solve. Maybe in the future we can be as giving as we have been as a nation in the past, but as of right now, I just can't support that. There are charitable groups, NGOs, and yes, there is still foreign aid, unfortunately, that's going out. We can help to move people away from the areas where they're being persecuted, oppressed, murdered. Let's get them to Saudi Arabia. Let's get them to Jordan. Let's get them to areas where they will be safer, but within their own region. We don't need to import them here into the United States. According to the article by Pamela Geller over at GellerReport.com, President Trump to reinstate his ban on immigrant travelers to the U.S. from high-risk Muslim nations, including Somalia, Iran, Libya, Syria, Sudan, Pakistan, Yemen, and Afghanistan. She says, I hope religious minorities from those regions will be given the chance to escape Muslim persecution and death. The challenge there, and I know sometimes people will say, well, can't we just import the Christians? Unfortunately, we can't. We can't help them. But we cannot continue to bring people here into the United States of America. Until we get a proper vetting process in place, we can't just say, well, this guy, he's got a cross. This guy, he says he's a Christian. Look, they will utilize any loophole that we allow, including, unfortunately, religious loopholes. They will use those. It's part of the Quran to lie if necessary in order to achieve their goals. So, as sad and as unfortunate as it is for those people that are being persecuted, we have to find a localized solution. We have to negotiate, let Marco Rubio go down there and negotiate a way for Christian refugees to go anywhere in the region where they will be safer. Just not here.
I will immediately restore and expand the Trump travel ban on entry from terror-plagued countries, and I will implement strong ideological screening for all immigrants. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country. We don't want you.
Yes, when he made that campaign promise, he was lambasted by legacy media for being bigoted again. And I'm going to get the same thing, and you're probably going to get the same thing if you agree with me, especially considering we are talking about, let's assume that, let's stipulate that we don't want to import terrorists. But there is a growing number of patriotic Americans who are rightly sympathetic with the plight, especially of the Christians and other religious minorities in the Middle East that are being persecuted, hunted down, often raped and murdered because of their faith. But this is not a binary choice. It's not we either let them in or they're dead. There are other options. We have to pursue those. And they don't have to even be government run. Again, President Trump, Marco Rubio, Mike Waltz, whoever, can do a whole lot with negotiating with the nations in the Middle East. They don't want Gazans. Okay, fine. You guys are against having Gazans. We get it. The Palestinian people, Jordan's had them in their country before they push them aside. Egypt has had them before. I get it. We're talking about Christian populations. We're talking about non-Muslim populations. These are people that, for all intents and purposes, these are not jihadis. They're not troublemakers. They've been spending their entire lives living low in Muslim-majority nations. They know how to not impose, so to speak. So it should be pretty easy for Marco Rubio, Mike Waltz, even President Trump himself, to be able to negotiate a deal to where we can get the persecuted religious minorities in countries such as Syria and move them to another Middle Eastern nation. I know I'm going to get flack for that, but I don't see another viable option. We see what's happening in Europe. We see what's going to happen here in the United States if we don't start. And I shouldn't say going to happen. It is in the process of happening. Go to any college campus and tell me that it's not happening. Go to Columbia and tell me it's not happening. It's already happening. So we need to cut it off immediately. And yes, we still have a responsibility, not just as Americans. Okay, that I would say we don't have a responsibility as Americans. We do have a responsibility as Bible-believing Christians to support our brothers and sisters who are being persecuted. And this is why I do want to find a solution. It just cannot be to bring them here. Not yet. Maybe in the future. Maybe when we have appropriate, proper, better vetting systems, not just ideological vetting. I'm talking about full-blown, being able to determine the chances of somebody being a terrorist, the chance of somebody contributing appropriately to America. But we're not there yet. And until we can solve our own problems, and until we can secure an appropriate degree of vetting, I am all for President Trump's ban. The best place to find most of my stuff in real time as it happens is X. Go to x.com/JD Rucker and you can find my shows, my various clips, many of my articles, and just random ramblings of a conservative Christian in California.